what is the role of technology in addressing these biggest challenges that you are researching?
I think with technology innovation, one of the biggest things that it is doing is really highlighting challenges, highlighting opportunities, but also allowing us to find inequities that previously were very hard to detect, and then also map out other solutions. So just like one example with energy technology, like there's a lot of smart meters, which can track like how much energy you're using in your house, like every day or every hour or so. And then that can actually really help us identify, who feels like they can't use enough, like who is not able to keep their house at a safe and comfortable temperature. And then on the other side of that, right, you have kind of more behind the scenes, you would have blockchain technology, which can allow that to be more protected, right? So one of the large issues with tracking so much data of people's energy use is worried about privacy, right? I don't want somebody to know when I'm home and when I'm not. But when you have the blockchain technology, right, it makes it secure, it makes it safe, and it makes it so that people's privacy is ultimately better protected, which I think is great in terms of, technology innovation and really thinking about how we can transform the laws around, what gets to be used to make better decisions in the energy system. And I think then for mapping out solutions, because we have now better data tracking, better data management, better security around data with technology innovation, then moving forward, we can really try to use that data to better inform how we address energy poverty and the growth of this energy system moving forward, right? So now we have the blockchain technology that can look at how do we measure, CO2 emission reductions, and, how do we make sure that those things are verifiable, that they're not being double counted, that like people are reducing the emissions that they say they are. And so, this is more at the broader system level now, but, companies can't just greenwash, right? Like, and that's one of the things that I love about what Devstream's doing is they are, having programs and applications and, putting methodologies behind what carbon offsets are. And I think that that's something where, not everybody should just be able to sell and verify their own carbon offsets, right? We need standards around these things, but a standard is only as good as the technology that has verified it, right? And if we're trying to create standards and then verify them with Excel spreadsheets, sometimes that's like prone to user error, right? If somebody forgets to plug in a number or plugs in the wrong number, there's no way to verify that has happened, right? But then with blockchain technology, now you have all these different data ledgers that then verify each other. And then now we can actually have more trust in people doing what they say they're doing.
Definitely. So in your opinion, what do you think are the combination of elements for this just transition to real happen, right? Just transition is just a framework, but to achieve that future world that we all want, what do you think are the different elements needed?
Yeah, so for a just transition, I do think that greater transparency in data is very important, and continuing to grow our security around data, because we do want to make sure that individuals' identities are protected, right? We want to make sure that privacy is protected, but then using data to inform policy is so important, right? And having like standards that are tracked by, these objective sources of truth is super important, because I feel like when we are doing the energy transition in, multiple countries, right, we're trying to make sure that, we're moving towards a sustainable future. It's hard, right? And tracking CO2 emissions, like once they get into the air, it's so hard to do that. And that's something where I feel like I have had a lot of excitement in seeing growth in the technology innovation space as it relates to the energy sector, because I want to make sure that everybody can afford their energy bills. I want to make sure that everybody can breathe clean air and clean water, and I mean, there was that recent chemical spill in Ohio, right? With that, when that train derailed. And I want to know like how those things are affecting me, because it's actually pretty close to Pittsburgh, right? And I think that with data and tracking, we can do that. But without that, right now, I'm just supposed to trust that the people were like, yep, I tested it and it looks good. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Right? Like, did you track where it was going? How much did it seep into the water? Like, I want to test all the water around it. I mean, of course, I'm an academic, so we're like mega deep dive in research. Like, I was like, there's not enough research around this, right? And so I feel like with technology, you can actually track, verify those things, right? Do the testing and have somebody verify it. And I think that that's something that we need more of in this country.
Definitely. Well, Ohio inspired me to grow my own vegetables and fruits from now on.
Yeah, I know, right? Because like I'm not getting any fruits from Ohio anytime soon.